Hello again, it's Teacher Sydney. We are here with part 2 of your Gogokid interview and demo lesson video. In this video, I will be going over each of the slides with you and how to teach them. If you haven't checked out the first video on teaching tips and things you'll need for this interview, you can go ahead and check it out now and then come back to this one. So let's get started. The first thing, there are two options for your interview. So I was offered and chose to do the recorded interview. This isn't always an option. It's an option based on your experience with online ESL teaching, and I've been teaching for a year. So it was offered to me and I chose to do that. Everybody has the opportunity to do a live interview. So no matter what you do, you're going to have to introduce yourself and go over your qualifications. So introduce yourself. You want to be friendly. You want to have your education background ready. So remember where you went to school, what you graduated with, all your degrees. Teaching experience. You want to go over your teaching experience. So I started obviously with that. I've been teaching ESL online for the last year, which is very applicable to this. Use everything that you have for teaching experience. So I was a dance choreographer and a dance teacher. Use that. Did you teach kids how to read? Have you ever tutored? Have you anything you've done that's teaching experience, that's experience working with kids, experience in American school classrooms especially, use that. Tell them about that. So that's really important. And after that, you will get into the slides.
Okay, so as you can see, we are looking at the slides now. This is how my background appears in the classroom. So you can see the white edges of the closet that I teach in front of are gone. So yeah, this is how my background actually usually looks. So remember that you only have 10 minutes to do this. So you want to make sure you're watching timing. You definitely want to go over this before you actually start teaching it. So the first slide, which you can see here, is our introduction slide. You want to stay here when you introduce yourself. So just because you've already said hi to the interviewer, you are starting from scratch. You're pretending you don't know them. So you want to be like, "Hi, my name is Teacher Sydney. What is your name?" Let's say they say Mary. You want a full sentence, remember. My name is Mary. Good. My name is Mary. Good. Also, I'm really used to these. You want to give positive encouragement as much as you can. Lots of these students are really shy. On this slide, I would also suggest doing something else to get them to know the student, making them feel comfortable. So you can say, "How are you?" You can say, "How old are you?" If you're going to do that, maybe you have a cake printed out. Maybe you've pre-drawn like a little birthday cake. Sorry, I'm a terrible artist. And looks like a better cake than this, hopefully. And you say, "How old are you?" Yeah, just something to get to know them a little bit better. So moving on to slide 2, the reward system. So like I said, I don't like this reward system. I find it really difficult to explain. If you want to use this, awesome, more power to you. I think the best way to use it, the way that I would suggest it, is to print out a picture of a gorilla. So I mentioned always having your reward system visible. By what I did is I printed out a night sky and I put it here. So maybe you print out a picture of the gorilla and you put it here, and then you have little bananas that you've printed out, and you add tape to them, and every time they do a good job, you get a banana and you pin it up. Like I said, I use stars. Originally, I didn't have this felt background, so I printed out a night sky, put some tape, you get a star. Yay! Awesome. I only spend about 30 seconds on this slide. I don't really find For me, it makes more sense to spend less time on the reward slide. So that's kind of how I pace it. So slide number 3, you are actually teaching now. For this slide, the goal of the slide, you can see you want to introduce Alex and Amy and make sure they say hello to each of them. So make sure you get the student to say, "Hi, Alex," and "Hi, Amy" by the end of this slide. That is your goal. I did this by printing out a picture of Alex and Amy, and I threw it into my whiteboard. So I just stuck it in here so that I could then circle. So I would be like, "Alex," and then, "Hi, Alex." "Hi, Alex." And then maybe you get your puppet out. "Hi, Alex." And then if they're being a model student, you maybe want them to say a full sentence, so you can say, "This is Alex." Just remember, your goal is to get them to say hello to Alex and Amy. Okay, so next slide. We are teaching them 4 animals, which is kind of a lot. I did the recorded interview, so I didn't actually have a real person that I was interacting with. I pretended that they got cat and dog pretty easily so that I could focus on dragon and octopus because those are the harder ones to do. If you are really running out of time, make sure you get, I would suggest doing octopus because it's 3 syllables. So let's say you're like, "Oh my God, I have no time. I can't do all 4 of these." Do cat and octopus so you can demonstrate that you have skills. Again, at some point they will cut you off if you are going way over. So you really want to practice this to make sure you're in that 10-minute time frame. So this slide asks, what animals do you see? That is really complicated for a small student. So I say, "What do you see?" Great. So let's pretend they say cat or they don't say cat. And I get to say, "Cat. I see a cat." Good. Dragon. Dragon. I see a dragon. Good. Now, before I go on, I should mention that I am going to use the I do, we do, you do method here. So there are multiple animals. So I'm demonstrating how to do it. And then on the next one, it will be, "What do you see?" Good. Dog. Good. I see. Good. So you're trying to get them to say the whole sentence. And then octopus, right? So again, there are 3 ways to or not 3 ways, there are multiple ways to teach syllables. Clapping is a good one. If they're not getting that, I break it down on my arm and then you can blend it together. I actually find that works really well with students. Another thing with octopus that they may throw at you, it's an octopus instead of "I see a octopus." So you want to make sure that you catch it if they say "I see a octopus." You want to make sure they say "an octopus." All right, next slide. Okay, so the goal here, you want them to draw lines. So, what do you see? I see a dog. Great. So now you want them to draw a line. So you say, "Draw a line," and you do it for them. I'm used to using TPR. I find it faster. If they're like, "What's draw a line?" then get out that whiteboard and you say, "Draw a line. Dog." Great. Now they're going to do it. And you do this for all the animals, right? "What do you see?" Draw a line. You want to make sure they're using full sentences as much as possible. All right, the math slides. So The first goal of this is you want them to count the apples. You first need to introduce them to what an apple is. So I say apple. Good. 1 apple. Good. Now you can start doing your math. So 1 apple plus 1 apple equals 2 apples. Great. And now you want to do 1 plus 1 equals. Try and get them to say it. Some kids respond really well when you do the magic trick, the 1 plus 1 equals. Great. Now you've used something to get them to remember it. You've used the apple. You can use your whiteboard. There are lots of ways to get them to really interact with this slide. So we're going to go on. We're going to keep doing math. There are 3. Perfect. I do, we do, you do. That will work great. So 1, I do. 6 plus 2 equals 8. Draw a line. So you want to make sure they're drawing a line with you in this one. It's not I do and you just watch. So I do first and then you do it after me to make sure you get it. So the second one, let's say I say 1 plus 6 equals, they say 7. Yeah. Draw a line. They draw a line. And then this one, I'll be like, good. So you're trying to get them to say the whole thing and they draw a line. Great. You should be rewarding the student throughout this whole process. So your goal is to get them all of their rewards. So if you have 10 minutes to teach this, they get a reward every 2 minutes. You get a star. Yay! Awesome. They have a star now. They have a banana. They get a scoop of ice cream. Whatever it is, give them that reward. For me, I do it up there and I keep them up there. So yes, let's move on to our next slide. The friends slide. So you are going to, the way that I do this, right, you want them to say that sentence at the end of this. So I circle all of them. I say, friends. Good. How many friends? And then 1, 2. Good. 4 friends. I have 4 friends. Now you can ask the question, how many friends do you have? And you want them to get this answer, right? So I find that's the best way to do it is actually to teach it backwards because then they work up to the sentence. They kind of understand what you're asking. So now this slide. I actually found this slide the most troubling personally to teach because it kind of felt like a whole new type of sentence pattern. So again, you have 3 things. You can do I do, you do, we do. I'm sorry, I do, we do, you do. Not I do, you do. I do, we do, you do. Yeah, so I introduced the word at the bottom first. Games, hold up your board game, whatever. And then you say, I like to play games with my friends, right? This is a long sentence. You are not going to say this all in once. You're going to be like, I like to play games with my friends. Good. So now we've got toys. Good. What do you like to do with your friends? I like, great. And then you've got sports. And then you say, what do you like to do with your friends? And hopefully by now they can get the whole thing by themselves. Then you have your goodbye song. So this is supposed to be to the tune of Brother John or Frere Jacques. So it's goodbye, goodbye. Go, go, kid. Goodbye, goodbye. See you soon. Right, the benefit of this one is every line is the same. So you can sing one, have them sing one if you're running out of time. If you have excess time, you can sing it and make them repeat it, and then you can try and sing it all together. So get into the song. It's super awkward. You're an adult on a screen with another adult singing, but just have fun with it. And then you want to make sure that you say goodbye at the end. So, you did so good today. You got all 5 stars. Yay! I will see you next time. Goodbye. And then you just wave until they say goodbye and they stop you. So that is how to go through all of the slides.
So those are how to teach the slides. If you have any other questions or want to know anything else, feel free to drop a comment or send me a message, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If you have already applied, awesome. Remember to use that referral link of the person that referred you. If you haven't had anyone refer you, please use my referral link. It is right here. If you are watching this and you're thinking of applying and you want to email me, my email is below, and the link to apply is below as well. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it useful.